Harold, happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah to you. Crazy day today, huh?
Worse than that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
it just,
ridiculous.
it's,
I mean,
no,
people saw it coming. It was so obvious. They let them do whatever they want there in Australia.
it's, uh, I think that the guy should resign. My bias.
What's that?
I think that this guy, Albanese, should resign. He's an incompetent
Oh, for
fool.
sure. He
Horrific.
recognizes Palestine. That's what you get.
But it's 2 years of one missed action after
Constant. Yes,
another, after another, after
right.
another, and always he's always you know that old rule. He's always on the 80-20 side, but he's always on the 20, never on the 80.
Yeah.
Hag Sameach, everybody.
Chag Sameach.
Yeah.
So we're on 89B on the bottom, and we're going to be doing Tzadik 90 today. Lema Kitanoi. Let us say that the following is a Machlokes Tanoi. Emirei Kochik, we're dealing with, you shechted, let's say, a Shlamim, which is Kochik calling. Normally, after Zrika Saddam, you then put the Emurim, right? The chalev, the fats, and everything like that on the mizbeach to burn. Now, the Gemara has been dealing with the issue. Let's say the emurim were removed outside the azara before you did the zrika. Is it completely invalidated or not? So emuri kotri kolam shiyotz lifnei zrikas damim. Rabbi Eliezer Omer ein moyalim behem. There's no kedusha to it, and therefore, if you benefit from it, there's no mila. Number two, if the korban that these emurim came from became pigul noiser v'tamei, and you ate a kazayas of these emurim, ein chayov mishum pigul noiser v'tamei, because since they were taken out of the azara, the zrika was not sufficient to sanctify it. Rabbi Kiva Omer, no, the zrika, even though the emurim are outside, moyal behen, you are chayiv meila if you benefit from it, and chayav nalei mishum pigul noiser v'tamei. And my lav b'dahader aylainu pliki. We're talking about a case where the emurim that were outside were brought back in, and were in the azor when you did the zrika. Ubaha pliki. The Mar Sover Mifsala Biyotzer, Rabbi Eliezer says, it doesn't make a difference that you brought it back in. Once you brought it outside, it's possible. Umar Sover Loy Mifsala Biyotzer. So Amrav Papa, no. B'dahader aylinu kol amalo pliki. If the emurim were brought back, and you did the zrika when the emurim were in the azor, then they do not become possible. Even Rabbi Eliezer will agree it's okay. Here we're talking about a case, hacha b'di isnu abroi pliki. The emurim are outside when you do the zrika. Ubaha pliki. The mar sovereign zrika boyalis liyotse. Rabbi Eliezer says the zrika does not work on the emurim that are outside. Umar sover zrika boyalis liyotse. But Rabbi Kiva holds it is. Frey the Gemara, Vaharav Papa Uda Omar, Bidi Isnu Abroi Pligi. Rav Papa, regarding the Shtei Alechem on Shavuos, where they discuss the same issue, where the Shtei Alechem are outside the Azor when you do the Zrika. And there, they all agree, and there's no machlokes, that the zrika doesn't work. It's b'dailinu legavoy pligi. The machlokas is when you bring the shtei alechem back in and you do the zrika, then Rabbi Eliezer says it's not good. Rabbi Akiva says it's good. So how can you tell me Rav Papa says that they agree? So the Gemara says two different cases. Hadim ligabi shtei alechem, the lav guve de zivcha. The shtei alechem are not part of a korban, where the blood, yes, you need to do zrikas of blood to allow you to eat it, but it's not gufa korban. Aval emurim the gufe de zivcha. The emurim are part and parcel of the korban. So, but the isno avroi pligi. So there, they do argue when the emurim are outside. Okay, the Mishnah said, "Oy fois koidmin lemenachos," because birds have blood. The Rabbah says the Gemara menachos koid mishkin yeshna b'tzibur kivyochid. There are examples of menachos brought by yechidim, individuals, as well as by the tzibur. The minchas ha'omer is a mincha brought by the tzibur. And there is never a case where a bird is brought by the tzibur. The fact that a bird, korban, has blood makes it more mekudash than a mincha. Then we say minchas chote takes precedence to a minchas nadava, a donated mincha. And we said because it comes to atone. A donative mincha comes along with oil and spice. A minchas chote does not. So the Gemara's havamina here is maybe the minchas nadava is more mekudash. Afilu hachi minchas chote abol chet adifa de mechaperes. A minchas chote is more mekudash because it atones. So therefore, iboiluhu. Minchas sota, the mincha that the husband brings when he brings his wife, who he accuses of being a sota woman. Minchas sota, minchas nadava, ezo min kodemes. Do we say minchas nadava kodmash came to unin shemen levona? Because a donative mincha has oil and spice. Or idilma minchas sota kodmash came balavar avoin. The minchas sota doesn't come to atone for sin. It comes to determine whether she sinned or not. So Toshma says minchas chote kodemes la minchas nadava. Only a minchas chote would declare minchas nadava. Ha minchas sota lo. So the Gemara says that's not a good proof. Miktoni mipnei shehi mekaperes. It doesn't say that it has kadima because it atones. It says it's brought because of the subject matter of sin. And the minchas sota also comes because of sin. So no raya from there. Toshma, zu kodemes lezu. A minchas chote comes from wheat. A minchas sota comes from barley, because she committed an animal act, and barley is animal food. So the minchas chote comes before the minchas sota. Shezu ba min achitin, v'zu ba min ha'so'irin. Because the minchas chote comes from wheat, the minchas sota comes from barley. My love minchas nadava the minchas sota. Right now, the Gemara thinks it's talking about a donative mincha, which is wheat, and not a minchas chote. Where it says lo minchas chote le minchas sota. The Baraisa means a minchas chote comes before minchas sota. Break the Gemara tepukle dam chaperes follow chaperes. Why do you say that the chiluk is because one is wheat and one is barley? Why don't you say the minchas chote atones and the minchas sota does not atone? Elamai minchas nedava. So what are you telling me? Go back to what you originally thought, that it's the minchas nedava that has kadima over the minchas sota. Tepukle dizu tuna shem v'levona v'zuena tuna shem v'levona. You could have had a reason because the minchas nedava comes with oil and spice. Elachad mitrei timing. Okay. The Brisa could have mentioned both reasons, only mentioned one of them. But it's not clear that the Brisa is talking about a minchas nedava or minchas chotes, so we can't resolve the question that was posed. Then the Mishnah says, chatas ha'of kodemes la'ola sa'of. Menanamili. The Tanur Rabbana. The krivis asher lachatas rishona. This is talking about a sliding scale korban. Let's say you didn't know that you were tamei, and you walked into the Beis Hamikdash, and you have to bring a chatas, but it's depends on your wealth. If you're wealthy, you bring an animal. If you're less wealthy, you bring a pair of birds. If you're less wealthy, you bring a mincha. So when you bring a pair of birds, it's a chatas and an ola. And it says, beferish in the Torah, asher lechatas rishona, ma tamud loymar. She'ein tamud loymar lamed shetikarev rishona. It's not coming to teach me that you offer it first, harek van nemar. Because it says, vesasheni yase ola. Elazeh bona av v'kol chatos. It creates a binyanav to the rest of the Torah. Sheyiktimu la'ola habosimon. Whenever you bring a chatas and an ola together, the chatas is offered first. Bein chatas ha'of la'ola sa'of, bein chatas behema la'olas behema, whether you're bringing an animal. Vafilu chatas ha'of la'olas behema. Listen to this. Even a bird chatas goes before an animal ola. Hilkach. Chatas ha'of la'olas ha'of vesasheni is taught from vesasheni. Chatas behema la'olas behema midi Rabbi Rachmana. When we talked about the Levim. Chatas ha'of la'olas behema mizeh bana, from this binyanav. Okay, Toshma. The Gemara is going to bring a number of baraisas to try to ask a kasha on this business that a chatas ha'of comes even before an olas behema. Toshma. Rabbi Eliezer Omer. Kol mokom shenischal v'chatas. When you replace an animal chatas with a bird chatas. Chatas kodemes. The chatas goes before the ola. The kan by a yoledes. There, it's the animal ola that's replaced by the bird ola. There, the ola kodemes. It goes even before the chatas ha'of. Kol makam shbalchet. When the bird offering is coming to atone for his sin, chatas kodemes. The chatas goes first. But the kan, when a woman gives birth, there's no atonement. There's no sin. So therefore, oila kodemes. Then the ola comes first. And therefore, even the bird ola goes first for the yoledes. The chomokom sheshnayim baim tachas chatas. Whenever you bring two birds in the place of one chatas, and what two birds you bring a chatas and an ola. The chatas kodemes, the chatas takes precedence over the ola. This is the case of Tumas Migdash Udoshav, where you're not wealthy, so you bring two birds. The birds are a chatas and an ola. It's a unit. We always give kadima to the chatas in that case. Kan, by a yoledes, oila kodemes. Even the bird, ola, goes before the bird chatas. And certainly if she had an animal Ola, it would go before the bird Chattas, which contradicts what we said in the Baraisa. You know what? The Torah mentions Ola first, but really we offer the Chattas first. Toshma. Porim, koidmim la'elim. And we have different kinds of animals. The bull goes before the ram. Elim, koidmim la'kvasim. The ram goes before the sheep. Kvasim, l'seirim. The sheep goes before the goats. My lav dechag. Now, we're talking about the Musaf on Sukkot. On the Musaf of Sukkot, you have to bring bulls, rams, and sheep as olos. And you brought one goat as a Chattas. So we're talking about the Musaf of the Yom Tovim, which came from different species. Now, the goat was a Chattas. Yet we're offering the bull, ram, and sheep prior, even though they're olos, which again goes against the Baraisa. So the Gemara says, Lo l'nadava. It's not referring to the Musaf, it's referring to people who donated the Ola. And if it was only Olos, you follow that. But if someone brought a Chattas, the Chattas would go first. There's more wine brought with bulls. There's more wine brought with the rams over the sheep. Why do you bring kvasim l'seirim? Shekein nisrabu baliyah. When you put the tail, the lamb has a bigger tail than the goat. So, Toshma. Par Kohen Mashiach, which is a Chattas, brought by the Kohen when he makes an error in Psak. Kohen lepar helam davar shel tzibur. And it goes before the bull that's brought by the tzibur when they make a mistake. Par helam davar shel tzibur, kohen lepar avodas kechavim. When the tzibur makes a mistake by avodah zarah, that's an ola. So the par helam davar is a Chattas, so that goes first. Par avodas kechavim, kohen l'seira avodas kechavim. The par avodas kechavim, which is an ola, goes before the seir avodas kechavim, which is a Chattas. So this is a kasha on our baraisa. Havagav the par avodas kechavim ola, u'seir avodas kechavim Chattas. The ema mireisha par elam davar shel tzibur kohen lo par avodas kechavim. The par elam davar is a Chattas. The par avodas kechavim is an ola. But that fits the rule that the Chattas goes before the Ola. So the Gemara says like this. B'chad mina mi'elo kamina. When we're talking about bulls, which are the same species, so there we don't say the Chattas. Normally we say Chattas kadba. The Chattas will always go before the Ola within the same species. Ki kamina betray mine. When we're dealing, let's say, with a bull and a ram. There, we find that the Ola bull goes before the Chattas goat. Because a bull is more superior than a goat. Armi b'marav mishmei Rav bar Meri. Chattas avodas kechavim chaser aleph. It's written Chattas in the Torah without an aleph. That particular Chattas doesn't go before the Ola because it's a Gzeres HaKosov. Ravina Omar Kamishpat. We do it the way they appear in the Torah. And in the Torah, the Ola is mentioned first. Oh, now that you came up with that, Hashta de Osis La'achi, Afilu Tema Parim de Chagdami. We can go back and say that we mentioned the Kedim of the bull and the ram. We're talking about the Musaf. on Sukkot. Because the Kimishpatim Ksiv Behu. So even there, over there, it's an example where the Ola goes before the Chatas, is because it says Kimishpatim. Okay, Iboiluhu. You have 3 korbanos. Chatas ha'of, Olas behema, u'maiser. Ezu mehem koidem. Tigdom chatas ha'of, ikke maiser de kodim lei. Because it's an animal, not a bird. Lick the meiser, let the meiser go for ikke oilus behema de kodim lei. But an ola, since it's completely burnt and it's an animal, should go before. Tigdom oilus behema, ikke chatas ha'of de kodim lei. We always say that the chatas ha'of goes before the oilus behema. So we don't know what goes first. So hacha targimon in Bavel min zevach adi. We always look at the fact that a meiser is something that is shechted, not malika of a bird. So you do the meiser first, which is an animal, followed by the bird chatas, and then the rule is whenever you have a bird chatas and an animal ola, the bird chatas goes first. So Marava Amri, an animal ola is a higher level than a meiser, because we said an oila is completely burned. Vagbomi meiser, and therefore it becomes higher than the meiser, even though the meiser is slaughtered, is shechted, and the bird ola is the malika. So according to the Marava, first they do the bird chatas, then the ola animal, then the meiser animal. Mishnah. When you have a chatas and an ashram, you always do the chatas first. Chutz me ashram mitzora, except for the ashram that the mitzora brings. Mipnei shehu ba'al hechsher. The ashram that a mitzvah brings allows him to eat kodshim. Kol hashram shebetor boin ben b'nei shtayim. They have to be 2 years old, or in their 2nd year. Uboin b'kesav shkolim. There's a minimum value. They have to be 2 silver shekels worth. Chutz me ashram nazir v'ashram mitzora. The ashram that the nazir brings at the end of his naziris, or the ashram that the mitzvah brings to be mitar from his mitzvah, shehein boim b'nei shnasan, they're 1 year old. Ve'ein boim b'kesav shkolim, and they don't have to be worth that minimum value. Kishem shekoidmin bakravason, just like you offer a chatas before the ashram, koidmin bachilason, you eat the chatas before the ashram. We have another rule. Shlomim shel emesh, right? A shlomim is eaten for 2 days. So if you have a shlomim from yesterday and a shlomim today, you eat yesterday's shlomim first. Shlomim shel emesh or shlomim shel yom. Shel emesh koidmin l'shel yom. Shlomim shel emesh, you have yesterday's shlomim and chatas for ashram shel hayom. Shlomim shel emesh koidmin. You eat the shlomim of yesterday. Chatas and ashram are more mekudash, but it's mezalzel to the shlomim. Div Reb Meir. Chatas kodemes b'nei shi kodshe kodshim. Chatas goes before the shlomim of yesterday because it's in the category of kodshe kodshim. Same thing with the ashram. The chulon. HaKohanim rishoim l'shanis bachilos. No matter what meat we're talking about, the Kohanim can cook it the way they like it. Lachlan tzuyin, roasted, shlukin, cooked, overcooked, mevusholim, cooked. Laseis letocho tav lechulin, they can put spices of chul in there. The tavle truma, the Rab Shimon. Reb Meir Omer lo yitel zochot tavle truma, shlo yavis a truma l'dei psul. We don't want the truma to possibly become pasul. Okay, let's hold off because we're going to start a whole new sugya, Toder umakudash. Okay, and we'll learn that tomorrow. So tomorrow, 7:00. Is that okay with the Hanukkah? I think it's okay because we.
No, only it's Hanukkah. We have
Okay, look, we can do it at 8:00. 8:00.
do 8:00, please. Yeah.
What time?
8.
8:00, and Surba will be 8:00 then, Tuesday night, and we'll have to do the daf at 9:00.
Okay.
Okay.
Good
All right.
night. Chag Sameach, everyone.
Sameach, everybody.
Everyone.